Alright, so if you are planning for DGCA air navigation exam, you cannot afford to get this question wrong. And trust me, almost everyone gets this question wrong on their first try. So let's try to understand this question first and try to break it down in much more simpler way. And we can see that at 0430, which is the time, an aircraft is in level cruise flight at a ground speed of 350 knots and at flight level 370, 185 nautical mile from a VOR. So let's just try to picture this out so that understanding the question will be much more easier. Now, as you can see in this picture, I have drawn a VOR over here, and also our aircraft is cruising at flight level 370. That means 37,000 feet, and our aircraft is cruising at a ground speed of 350 knots. And the time is 0430, and our aircraft is also at a distance of 185 nautical mile from the VOR. Now, the second part of the question says that it is required to descend at a mean rate of descent of 1800 feet per minute to be at flight level 80 overhead the VOR. What is the latest time to commence descent if the mean ground speed in descent is to be 232 knots? So let's just try to picture this thing as well. So as you can see, our aircraft is descending in a such a way that it will reach overhead the VOR at flight level 80, which means 8,000 feet. And also while descending, our aircraft is maintaining a rate of descent of 1800 feet per minute and at a ground speed of 232 knots. So what is the latest time to commence descent? So that means we need to find the time when the aircraft is starting its descent. This is being asked in the question. So if we can observe, our aircraft is losing its height from all the way from 37,000 feet to 8,000 feet, which means our aircraft has lost some height. So as you can see, our aircraft has descended all the way from 37,000 feet to 8,000 feet, which means our aircraft has lost its height by almost 29,000 feet. And since we know that our rate of descent is 1800 feet per minute, so we can calculate the time taken while descending. So we can calculate the rate of descent since we know rate of descent is equal to height change divided by time taken. Already it's been given that rate of descent is 1800 feet per minute and the height that has changed, that is 29,000 feet. So here we can calculate the time taken, and when you will solve, you will have time as 16 decimal 1 minute, or you can also write it as 0 decimal 26 hours. Now also while descending, it is being given that our ground speed is 232 knots and we just calculated a time in descent, it was 0 decimal 26 hours. So using the formula speed is equal to distance by time, we can calculate the distance by multiplying speed into time. We will have the distance that covered during the descent, which you will get as 62 decimal 29 nautical mile. So that means your aircraft has covered almost 62 decimal 29 nautical mile during the descent. So since you know this distance that is covered during the descent, that is 62 decimal 29 a nautical mile, you can calculate the distance flown by the aircraft in straight and level condition. And this distance is going to be how much? This distance is going to be the entire 185 nautical mile subtracted by 62 decimal 29 a nautical mile. And when you will subtract it, you'll get this distance as 122 decimal 7 nautical mile. Now let's focus over here. So now in cruise condition, our distance flown is how much? 122 decimal 7 nautical mile. Also our ground speed was 350 knots for cruise. So using speed is equal to distance and divided by time, we can calculate time, which is distance divided by speed. And when you will calculate by putting the values of distance, which is 122 decimal 7, and speed, which is 350 knots, you'll have the value of time as 0 decimal 35 hours. And when you will convert in minutes, you will have almost 21 minutes. That means our aircraft has flown for almost 21 minutes in straight and level condition. In order to calculate the time of commencement of descent, you need to add this 21 minutes since your aircraft has flown for 21 minutes from this time. So 0430 plus 21, you will have the answer as 0451, which is our option number Charlie. And that's how you can solve every DGCA questions if you are following correct step-by-step procedure without any confusion. And trust me, if you understood this, you are already ahead of 90% of the DGCA aspirants. So remember this, navigation isn't about the formulas, it's about understanding the conditions first. So that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video with another important DGCA question. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring with the Aviation Institute.